Hey y'all, hey, your girl Tonetta is here. I hope y'all doing well. I just wanted to come on and share a little tidbit of something that I've learned, I guess I put it that way, in the last few months. I've always knew, of course, slow down, do this, do that, make sure that you get some rest, relax, blah, 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 all those types of things. And it was actually a cruise on MSC World America. Me and my partner took back in November, well, last year, but a few months ago. And for most of that trip, actually, I think I may have said that on here on Facebook, actually, or YouTube, one of the two, that I was sick for most of that trip, actually, not feeling well, coughing and gagging, stomach wasn't feeling well, just craziness just going on, y'all. And what I learned, of course, I can laugh about it now, but at the time I was upset and mad because I couldn't enjoy my trip the way that I wanted to, all the things that I wanted to do and all these kind of things because I wasn't feeling well because I had to, of course, rest. I had to lay down. I had to get some more sleep. I had to just sit there and just be. I put it that way, just be and just relax and just, like I said, take some medicine and all those types of things. And like I said, what that trip taught me that I'm learning more and more and more as the trip has, of course, ended and it is a few months later. Like I said, what it has taught me is that I have to, of course, slow down to enjoy the things that I want to enjoy and that it's okay to do so. Like I said, I spent so many years, of course, going and not really slowing down to really do much of, I slow down to do a few things, yes. But most of the time, of course, in survival mode, just going, doing this and doing that, taking care of this person, doing this and this person, doing the work, doing whatever it was, doing my cookie business, whatever it was. And like I said, since that trip, like I said, I had to learn more and more and more that I had to, of course, to slow down. I'm sure somebody else out there can identify with me as well and have been going through this or have been through this or is past this point and doing something else. And like I said, definitely, I just had to come on and just, like I said, just talk to y'all about that. Because like I said, I know how important it is for me to I guess, how important it was for me to, of course, to slow down and to soak things in and to realize that me getting rest and me getting sleep and me sleeping in or me not getting up on a Saturday to go anywhere to do anything or whatever, or after work just looking at TV, that it was okay to do and that I'm not lazy. Because for a long time, like I said, me having to go, in my mind, if I'm resting, I'm lazy. If I'm resting, I'm not doing what needs to be done in that moment or for tomorrow or whatever the case may be or whatever I've told myself. And like I said, on that trip, I was of course I filmed, I still did do some videos and stuff like that. I didn't do as much as I normally do, but that's okay. But like I said, I was learning to, of course, rest, or God, in my eyes, set my butt down to, of course, rest and to relax, to take care of myself in those moments. My partner helped too, of course. But like I said, I was the one that had to go through that. He wasn't sick. I was the one that was sick. So like I said, definitely I had to learn how it was to actually slow down and be okay with that. And I think that's the trip that I learned that in. Yes, I always knew that it was okay to slow down. I just didn't tell myself that it was okay to do so and not feel ashamed about it or not be, and not have to apologize for it or anything else or not feel guilty to even slow down and stop. Like I said, took me 49 years to, of course, to get to this point. But like I said, that is definitely okay. I know I'm not the only one. But like I said, since that trip, like I said, I have been, of course, resting. I have been, of course, sleeping in some days or some days, but the days that I can. Because, of course, working full time, you can't sleep in every day. But the days that I can. But like I said, I've learned to, of course, slow down with some things and to, of course, stop some things. Or stop doing some things. And at some point I'll talk about those too, I'm pretty sure. But like I said, I had to learn how to stop doing some things in order to make myself, in order to make myself, like I said, relax and just be in the moment and just focus on what I was doing at that time. Because I feel that there were some things, not anything that I was left out on or that kind of thing at all, but there's been some things that, of course, I'm forgetting stuff and everything's on my mind. My mind going 40,000 miles an hour. I think I told y'all that I was diagnosed with ADHD, which I kind of already knew I had it, but I just always say I was undiagnosed or that kind of thing over the years, just playing about it. But seriously, I have been diagnosed with it back in November. I actually back the same month of this trip, actually. I'm learning how to deal with myself and learning new ways to, of course, to see life and how to focus on life and how to focus on me and my goals and that kind of thing and how to slow down in order to get those things done. Because my mind going 50,000 miles an hour as my mouth goes 55 miles an hour. Like I said, I have to learn, or had to learn, I'm still learning, like I said, how to just slow down. And as I'm doing all these things, as I'm taking my time to, of course, to stop doing all the vendor events for my cookie business, because I have not had one scheduled yet. And I'm not scheduling one anytime soon. Probably not at all. I ain't gonna say not at all. I may do a few this year. We'll see. But I had a vendor events at least once or twice a month that I had to go, of course, set up. And of course, some events in between as well, different things that I signed up for. And then, of course, I had weekly drops, cookie drops. That's no more either. Like I said, I had to learn how to cut back on some things. Yes, while I know that was a God-given talent and gift that I have to bake and to do all those things, but I have to take care of myself too, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And like I said, it was definitely hard to do. I cried about it and everything else. I'm like, God, that gave me this gift. I don't want to waste my gift and that kind of thing. Just all upset. And I'm okay with it now because I know I'm using my gift in other ways. I know that now, that it's okay to do that too. And that's the part of me slowing down, having to think, what else can I do? What else? How else can I use the gifts and the talents that I've been given? And not, of course, in my mind, like I'm thinking to waste them. But like I said, there's always ways to, of course, to do things. And like I said, once I've been able to get to this point to, of course, to learn how to relax and be okay with that, I was able to, of course, think better. To think better, to figure out what the heck my next step's going to be. And of course, with ChatGPT's help. But of course, I still had to figure it out on my own as well. And like I said, I've been okay with that. But like I said, it's just, that trip just taught me, like I said, it set me on my butt to actually stop and to actually relax and to actually rest. And I did a lot of resting on that trip, actually. And I have one tomorrow coming up as well. I don't know how it's going to look. I'm just winging everything. I'll keep y'all informed as I go along. Couldn't even tell you. Have no idea. But how it's going to look is how it's going to look. I put it that way. And I'm sure I'm going to rest and come back to myself as well on this trip as well. It is a solo trip. I'm going by myself on my first cruise like this, actually. But like I said, I had to get to this point so I can learn who I was and what I wanted and what I'm looking to do. And with me having 50,000 things going on, all this and all that and this, I already work full time. And of course, running a cookie business, which is fine, but I had to figure out another way to, of course, to bring my gift forward into the world. Instead of just running myself ragged after event after event, after pop-up after pop-up, after weekly drop after weekly drop. That just wore me out last year, y'all, seriously. And I know I'm not the only one because I've talked to somebody else, a girl that I know her in Tucson was saying the same exact thing about her business. She stopped her business two months ago to focus on some simple things that she loved and that she lost in her creativity. She's getting back to her creativity. Same conversation we had yesterday. The same thing I'm telling you as well that I've done as well. I didn't even know this about her until yesterday. And I'm like, oh my God, I saw her at a vendor event. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on with your business, that kind of thing? And she told me the similar kind of thing that I'm telling y'all. That at some point, like I said, that trip made me think about all the things I need to stop because I was losing myself in everything too. And besides just being sick, like I said, it made me think about a lot of different things that I need to change, that I need to look and evaluate again to give me some time so I can, of course, have that rest, have that downtime so I can, of course, actually think about stuff that I want to do and figure out different ways to do things, but still keep my gifts and talents within me. But still put a force where everybody else can, of course, can use them to, I guess, use them in some kind of way to, of course, whether it's making food in their kitchen or transform their own lives, that kind of thing. Like I said, I had to get back to that. Like I said, those are the things that I missed because I was so busy and doing all this stuff and couldn't do all these things and all the things that I actually love, which videos is one, as y'all probably can tell. But like I said, videos is definitely one. But like I said, definitely I had lost myself in all those things. And not being able to relax and to actually think about the things that I actually want to do and how I want to look at it, how I want to be and how I want to show up. Like I said, all that resting back in November gave me the mindset to, of course, I need to focus on these things. And therapy, of course, has helped as well in that process too, because that's what it's for. For me to get some more tools and tactics and strategies to, of course, to heal myself and to, of course, move myself forward in life as well. It's the support system that I needed as well. somebody unbiased and those types of things. I'm not saying you gotta do the same things I'm doing, but like I said, this is just for me to, of course, like I said, to just share with you all kind of what my thoughts are about the last trip that I had and how it made me, of course, sit down and reflect on life and figure out how I want to show up and what I'm looking to do. And I know, like I said, that I'm not the only one. And the young lady that I talked to yesterday, I know we're not the only two people that's going through something like this. I know there's other, I'm sure, women going through things like this, men, I'm sure, as well. We all go through something like this at some point in our life. I'm pretty sure that. Some people blame it on menopause. Some people blame it on, or not blame it on, but I guess put it on menopause, or put it on, what is it called? Oh my God, I forgot what it's called. When I can't think of the word right now, y'all. Like I said, I'm trying to get things together. But I can't think of the word right now. But whatever the word is, it was when you, of course, you look at your life and you realize that you have not done the things that you wanted to do. And you're regretting different things, trying to figure things out. Why haven't I traveled yet? I'm still working. I ain't took not one trip yet, not even a vacation yet. When you get to that point where you're just sick and tired of being sick and tired and you want to see change across the board. I was at that point too. Back between September and November. That's what caused me to, of course, return back to therapy. And of course, like I said, that trip helped me to, of course, like I said, to reflect on more things. I only had one therapy session before that cruise. But it still, like I say, helped me reflect and think about how I want to show up in this world and what I'm looking to do and what I was going to cut down on, because the things I want to do, everything else is overpowering that. And I can't just keep on the same path. I was wearing myself ragged and wearing myself all the way down, emotionally exhausted and physically exhausted. And that just makes no sense, but it happens to people every day, all across the board, men and women. And like I said, y'all, I just want to share this with y'all because, like I said, that was something that, of course, that I was reflecting on earlier since I had the conversation with the young lady on yesterday, because her story is similar to mine. Sick and tired of doing the things that she was doing. It was just wearing you out. Sometimes we're going to get to that point. I got to that point, and I had to figure out what was I going to do, because I was ready to drop everything and just go. Every single thing in my life and just go. To hell with this and that. That's the point that I was at. And like I said, yes, I was upset. I was angry. I was resentful. Every other word that you can think of, that was angry. I put it that way. And I had to learn how to, of course, calm myself down as well and realize that life is going to happen. But some things I can change and some things I cannot change. But the things I can change, I can be happy for those things and look forward to those changes and look forward to those things every single day. Instead of dwelling on the negative and the, oh, what was me? And I'm tired of doing this and I'm ready to do this and I'm sick and tired of this. This ain't happening, these kind of things. And comparing myself to other people out here too. Like I said, I had to learn those things again. I already knew them, but I had to learn them again. And no, I don't feel bad about it. I don't feel ashamed about it at all. That's the journey that I got to go through. You may not have the same journey. I don't know. I'm having this journey right now, but like I said, everybody has something different. I'm not afraid to share the story up, which I'm pretty sure many of y'all on here already know that already. I share a lot of different things, especially the lessons and the things that I'm going through. So y'all, if y'all are going through the same things, it can help y'all too. Or at least give you a light bulb to go off and say, hey, am I going through the same thing? Is this what's happening to me? How do I change my life as well? Because I'm tired of doing this thing, A, B, and C. Like I said, that was the point that I was at. And like I said, I'm going to keep sharing until I can't share no damn more. I put it that way. So like I said, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. I knew this video wasn't going to be long, but I just want to share that with y'all. Like I said, just looking back, reflecting on that trip, just what I learned and how it slowed me down, y'all, to help me think and process and, of course, plan to how I'm going to show up and what I'm going to be doing in my life, I guess, at this point. No, it wasn't a happy time, that kind of thing at all, but that's okay. It definitely had me thinking and reflecting on things, my life and where I want to see my life going. And like I said, I'm sure some of y'all out there can identify. Let me know in the comments if y'all can identify with anything I've said in this video so far. I definitely want to hear from y'all so I can chat and talk to y'all too, and hear about your story and that kind of thing as well. So with that, y'all, this is your girl Tonetta. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get my butt off here. Don't forget, if you I think I have those star things. If you want to leave some stars or get some stars, Send me stars, whichever one it is. Feel free to do so, especially if this message touched your heart or touched your soul, or if this is something that you really, really liked. I guess I put it that way as well. And feel free to share this video with somebody that you think may be going through something like this too. Feel free. I don't mind. So with that, y'all, I'll see y'all in the next video. Have a good night, y'all. Peace out.